To the area of Pittsburgh.
You would agree February 28th is several days prior to that trip?
Correct. The searches were made on the evening that he was notified about the interview.
But you have no information as to whether or not he was already intending on going to Pittsburgh.
I can just speak to what the records reflect, that there were searches that evening.
Sure. The way you presented that testimony was to make a connection that his trip to Pittsburgh had something to do with his interview, but you have no evidence of that, correct?
I can only speak to the dates that the searches were conducted, compared to the date that Mr. Fernandez was notified, compared to the date that the interview happened on the following day.
He did the search prior to going on the trip.
That's correct.
Okay. And he didn't go to Pittsburgh and avoid going in for his interview, did he?
No, the interview happened before, yes?
Voluntarily, and sat down with law enforcement and gave a lengthy interview.
Correct.
Okay. He could have, if he had chosen to, declined that interview.
I believe he could have.
Right? He wasn't under arrest.
Correct.
It was voluntary.
Correct.
Okay. Everybody knows what that word means. It means that he walked in under his own accord and sat down consensually with law enforcement.
That's correct.
Okay. But several days prior, he did a search in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Okay. So you have no evidence one way or another has anything to do with the fact that he was going in for an interview.
I can just say that it happened the day before his interview, and the trip ultimately coincided with the CPT interviews of the children.
But again, whether one thing has to do with another, you have no evidence.
I can only speak to the dates.
You can only speculate.
I can speak to the dates.
You testified that he went on his trip north. You guys were able to track him by way of his cell phone data, correct?
That's correct.
Didn't appear that he purchased a burner phone or anything to try to not be tracked. You would agree with that?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
He used his debit card or credit card?
I don't recall which card he used, but there were records of his financial transactions, yes.
You mentioned, I believe it states 195. Your Honor, may I approach the evidence?
Yes.
States 195. Bear with me 1 second, please. Can you see that on your screen?
Not yet. I can see it now.
This was a receipt gathered by Walmart? From Walmart?
I believe so, yes. Can you scroll up so I can see the top of it, please? Thank you.
No dispute, this is what Ms. Stifler showed you on your direct examination.
That's correct.
Okay. Floss swords?
Yes.
Any idea what that is?
I believe it's floss picks to floss your teeth.
Like oral hygiene?
Yes.
That doesn't relate to the homicide of Mario Fernandez, or excuse me, Jared Bridegan, does it?
It's a purchase of toiletries.
Sure. A Vino dial? What is that?
I believe it's a Vino Dale, like daily, possibly a moisturizer or a soap of some sort.
As you said, toiletries.
Correct.
Okay. The next two don't really relate to me, but hair care products.
Yes.
Okay. Nothing to do with the homicide. You would agree with that?
It just says hair care.
Exactly. Body wash and some other men's product. And just normal toiletries.
Correct.
Okay. Nothing out of the ordinary for somebody that may be going on a trip. Right?
People need supplies, yes.
Exactly. There's entire aisles at places like Walmart that sell travel containers of various hygiene products.
That's correct.
That's not unusual.
There are those sections in stores, yes.
Now, Walmart sells a lot of things. No disputing that, right?
Correct.
Okay. You don't see anything on this receipt or any other receipt that Mr. Fernandez bought a tent, like to hide out in the woods?
There's no tent on here.
Okay. He didn't buy any type of makeup products or fake mustaches or anything to try to disguise himself?
I can only speak to what's on here.
Right, exactly. But certainly if you had found evidence that Mr. Fernandez was gathering any type of items to go on the run and to hide from law enforcement, we would expect you would testify to that, correct?
Somebody would have testified to it.
Certainly.
Yes.
But all you're able to testify to is this receipt from Walmart that Mr. Fernandez bought hygiene products.
That's correct.
You would agree that that's not going to help this jury in any way decide whether or not Mr. Fernandez is involved in a homicide.
I can't speak to what might help the jury or not help the jury. I'm just speaking to what the receipt says.
Okay. And on this particular receipt, it does say credit card approved. Were you able to determine that that was Mr. Fernandez's credit card?
I believe it did ultimately match the financials we had available for Mr. Fernandez, yes.
So again, there was no effort by way of financials for him to try to mask where he was going and what he was paying for.
He used a credit card, yes.
You also found evidence of him having dinner at a Ruby Tuesdays?
I believe the Jacksonville Beach Police Department found those records.
Again, Ruby Tuesdays, you know what that is, right?
Yes.
Well-known little restaurant?
Yes.
Nationwide chain?
Yes.
Okay. Law enforcement was able to determine that's where Mr. Fernandez went and had dinner with a friend?
Yes.
Okay. McDonald's?
I'm not aware of a McDonald's
Wouldn't
purchase.
surprise you though, would it?
It's food.
Things people might do on a road trip.
Correct.
Go through a drive-through and pick up a Big Mac or something.
Correct.
Okay. You made mention of the hotel in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
That he booked 2 nights but only stayed for 1.
Correct.
Okay. What time, from your own experience, is the normal checkout time at hotels?
Approximately 11 a.m.
Okay. Do you know what time, based upon the cell phone records, Mr. Fernandez actually left the Pittsburgh area?
I believe it was later that evening.
Okay. So if you wanted to extend your stay, you weren't ready to leave yet, you might have to purchase a second night.
The 2 nights were booked at the same time.
Sure. But if he decided, I'm going to leave later in the evening, I'm not actually going to stay the night, in order for him to stay in the room past that 11 a.m. checkout time, he would have to have it booked for 2 nights. You would agree with that?
I can't say that he would have had to have it booked. I can say that he had 2 nights booked and he ultimately only stayed for 1.
He stayed for 1.5 days.
I can't speak to exactly when his cell site data shows that he left the hotel.
But you understand he left later that evening from the Pittsburgh area.
From the Pittsburgh area, yes.
You can't tell this jury that he didn't stay in the room later throughout the day and decided to leave that evening.
I cannot right now based on my preliminary analysis that I did.
Certainly can't say whether he decided to leave earlier or later